My name is Wendy Ramirez, and I want to be speaking to you about the use of police body cameras nowadays. So, in Washington, D.C., established that having body cameras doesn't really have effect on people's complaints or excessive use of force. So, it doesn't really change statistically, but should that make them stop wearing them at all? So that has led to many controversies and has led to many discussions across in the United States, especially throughout social media outlets and news media. Some points to keep in mind are safety issues for those who have been mistreated by police officers, and also privacy issues, and also that the videos can be used for evidence in many cases. So, what I mean by safety issues for the mistreated, what I mean is that having body cameras can protect those who have been wrongly accused or wrongly treated by police officers. So, racial profiling is a huge thing in the safety concerns for citizens. And for example, there was one sir named Walter Scott in South Carolina who was shot and killed by an officer. He was unarmed and he was just fleeing a traffic stop, just a regular routine traffic stop, and he was fleeing. He was shot down and killed. Another example was Alton Sterling. He was pinned to the ground and already restrained, but because the police had found a gun in his back pocket, he was shot almost execution style. So while he was pinned down, he was shot. And so back to the racial profiling, Obama made a push for policemen to have an outreach to the community and for them to have more training into not just stereotyping a person because of how they look or where they at. So that's probably he will cut down on the amount of people killed out in the community or anything like that. And then privacy issues. A lot of police departments do not want to use body cameras for this specific reasons, because they believe that a policeman's always encounter all types of cases, so they could go into a domestic violence case or a sexual assault victim who probably do not want to be filmed during these worst of times, and or those involving children mostly. But while those things are happening and they are bad, those videos could be used as evidence for those cases that many of these people go free because of the lack of evidence. Which is my last point, is that these videos can be used as evidence. And so while many people are killed because of the excessive use of force by police officers, yes, that is their fault. They use so much force on these people who do not need it, or just carelessly just killing people. But another reason why we could probably use these videos is for when police are killed in the line of duty. Some of them are just regular policemen who are probably just doing their job and they are killed and they don't know why or not sure of what the situation was. So, and they could just go back, look at that policeman's footage of their body camera and determine what exactly happened and how we can go on about it. And also, the footage about Walter Scott, it was filmed by a nearby pedestrian who was filming it at the time. The policeman did not have no body camera. And so the only reason the policeman was charged for murder was because that video was shown. Otherwise, the officer could have easily lied and said he was armed. I didn't know, he probably didn't have anything. But at the time of the moment, it was a black man who had something and I shot because I was a white officer and I had the right to. And he could have easily been believed because it's the court system. But because that video was shown, the officer was charged with murder. But on the other hand, Alton Sterling, his officers involved were not charged, and that was a more brutal case. He was shot while on the ground and restrained, but the officers were not charged because they said it was justified. The court ruled for the officers in that. And the video was shown, and the family showed the video, but still the police was not charged. So these videos, they could help from if every officer had cameras. So in conclusion, I believe the police should have cameras in order to reduce police brutality, the safety for citizens all around, and also for maybe just the safety of the policemen themselves. In some occasions, when cops do a wrong thing, they can go unpunished because they are the law. And to have these evidence behind them could help put some of these people just back behind bars, or just because you're an officer, you don't have the right to do stuff. And it helps to have evidence like that. And some other things is that privacy issues of victims like sexually or domestically abused, or those involving children, those videos or cameras can be used for many reasons. And so, like I said before, just because you're the law, should these reasonings be discouraged because you're the law?